NFL season kicks off. Greatest time of the year. The whole off season was long and boring. NBA, once the NBA reaches the playoffs, it sucks. All right. Major League Baseball, I can't get into it. I've tried. I mean, I'm a casual baseball fan, but I'm just not into it. I know the Astros are doing really good, and everyone's like, oh, the Astros are, a dynasty. Just baseball's not my thing, bro. For all you old baseball heads, you like that 162 game season. This is not my thing. I'm strictly college and NFL, and of course I like the NBA basketball occasionally from time to time. But this is the best time of the year. It's college football, top 12 playoff, and now we got the NFL season kicks off. And I'm here to do my picks for NFL Week 1. NFL Week 1. So we got one game tomorrow, and then we also got a game on Friday. This is South America, which makes no sense. Eagles are at home against the Packers. In South America? And then we got the Sunday slate of games. Week 1's always a confusion part because every team is 0-0. So, yes, I'm doing the NFL Pick'em League. Of course, there's no question about it. I already sent the picks out. So, I've already sent them out. Try running an NFL Pick'em League, a college football, and a Major League Baseball Pick'em League all simultaneously, and having to work 70 hours a week. 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, bro. This is going to be a big challenge for me, but it's a challenge that I think I can overcome. And it's my off day, and I'm going to enjoy my off day. Probably watch a little bit of movies, just chillax, kick it at the house. I've worked 50 hours in 3 days. And I still got 2 more days. The next 2, Thursday and Friday, still got to work a 12 and a 12. That means I'm going to be at 74 hours by the end of this week. So I've been working nothing but 12s every shift. Nothing but 12s. And so that's why I don't upload videos as much. People say, where you been? Where you going? Are you coming back? Of course I'm coming back. It's just right now I'm just working a lot of hours. So I'm going to have to schedule around it, get accustomed to my schedule. And then, of course, when I get burned out, I'll scale the hours back. And then I could still be able to, keep my sanity going, do the pick'em leagues, enjoy a little football. I work the night shift, so it's a little bit tougher for me to do videos at night. Because I'm at work, and I work the overnight shift, which I love. It's a lot of downtime, so you watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of TTC guys going at it in their little streams or whatever, and I just sit quietly and watch and sip my tea. I always bring one of these to work and bring my lunch, and I'll just sit back and watch everybody on YouTube. Now, instead of me uploading videos every day, which can get annoying, now you'll just see me from time to time doing videos. Some of you may enjoy that because y'all like, man, this boy uploads too much. Some of you may be like, damn, man, I miss the rants and stuff. And, man, I work overnight, so it's hard for me to do it now. So I have to schedule around it. But, yes, the NFL Pick'em League kicks off another season. And I'm ready to do these picks. And, yes, I got a Clowney jersey on. Don't make fun of me, all right? It's from last year, all right? So I sent the picks out. Whoever sends them back, they're in, and whoever I don't hear from at the end of the week, I'm assuming you're not playing. So whether I have 140 people or I only have 80, that's good enough for me. Doesn't matter. Whoever comes back, comes back. Whoever doesn't, it doesn't. It just is what it is. So no sense in stressing over it. So I'll know by after Sunday who's all participating, who's all not. And, of course, I'll post the results on the Pick'em page, the tournament page. For those of you who don't have Facebook, it's going to be a little hard for you to see it. I do the video visuals, of course, but if you want to participate in college football or baseball or any of these other ones, you're going to have to go on Facebook because I don't do the promotion on YouTube for that. Just only NFL. Because I have so many people I got to do. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get to these picks real quick. We're going to talk a little bit of Texas, Michigan coming up this week, and Texans, Colts. We'll read a little bit into that. But first, I want to get these picks over with, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and I want to hit some music. Let's go. I feel like I do better with this Madden soundtrack. All right. We are at the first week, baby. Let me Scan it up a little bit. All right, the first game is going to be Ravens Chiefs. Let me turn it down a little bit because I want to be able to focus. Ravens and Chiefs. This is a Thursday game, so the Chiefs are the defending champions, and I've already told you guys by 2030, Patrick Mahomes will have 6 rings. They're the defending champs 3 out of 4 years for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm predicting they'll probably win the Super Bowl again. So, I like the Ravens. Don't get me wrong. Lamar Jackson, high-powered offense. The guy's got an arm. But Lamar Jackson chokes in big games like this. It just is what it is. Kansas City just has that it factor. As long as they got Patrick Mahomes, they should win this game. Give me Kansas City. Kansas City to win. All right, we got Packers and Eagles. This game is in South America. So Eagles are at home technically, but they're not really at home. They're on the road. First game in South America. Where's this game at in South America anyway? I don't know what country it's in. Is it in Brazil? Is it in Peru? Where is it at? I don't know, but it's in South America. I have a funny feeling that Green Bay is one of those sleeper teams that'll come up and punch you in the mouth when you least expect it. Don't get me wrong. I like Jalen Hurts. I like the Eagles. You know, they can score. They got a good defense. Packers got an explosive-ass offense. And I like the Jordan Love guy. I like him a lot. This game is going to be a very close game. But I'm going to go with the upset. I got Green Bay to go in South America and get the dub over the Eagles. That's right. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Pack Attack. All right. What's up, Azul? All right, so my Thursday game, I got the Kansas City Chiefs to win. I got Green Bay to go in Philly and upset those Eagles. I got it 26-23. I'm going to go Chiefs 28-21, even though I don't really need to predict the scores. All right, the next game, we got Pittsburgh at Atlanta. You know what? This is going to be a really good game because you got Kirk Cousins, Atlanta Falcons quarterback, and he's got a lot of experience, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, good game managing quarterback. Pittsburgh's got a two-headed monster in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. They can use both quarterbacks, believe it or not. This kind of reminds me of the year that Arizona had two quarterbacks. What was it, Kurt Warner, and they had Matt Leinart, I think, if I'm correct? Or was it Carson Palmer? It was remember that two-headed monster Arizona had at quarterback? I think it might have been Matt Leinart, and it might have been Kurt Warner. And so that kind of how Pittsburgh kind of reminds me of. This is going to be a good game, but I like Atlanta to win at home. I still think Pittsburgh's trying to figure out who the starting quarterback's going to be. Is Russell Wilson going to be the Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks back during the Legion of Boom? Or is he going to be the one we've seen in Denver recently who is struggling? And some people are calling for him to say that he just doesn't have it anymore. Will Justin Fields take over as quarterback? Who knows? But I think Atlanta, I think they have more of a well-balanced offense. You put Cousins in there, is going to add to that. I think the Atlanta Falcons get the win. It's going to be a close game. I give it, maybe like 31-30 something. It'll be like a last-second drive or something like that. Give me Atlanta at home to beat Pittsburgh. Let's see, next we got the Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. Is Kyler Murray still the quarterback in Arizona? What's going on with the Cardinals? Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. This is going to be a tough task for the Cardinals to have to go into Buffalo and win. Fly all the way up East Coast, heart of Buffalo. It's going to be a tough one, Cardinals fans. I'm sorry, Cattle Dog, if you're watching this, but I'm going to go with Buffalo. Buffalo the win at home. I have the Bills. Give me the Bills. All right, let's see. What's the next one? Let's see the next one. Hold on. Got Tennessee at Chicago. This is another good one too. And of course, the team I hate the second most in the AFC South is the Tennessee Titans. They're going to Chicago to take on the Bears. Team Beijing is what Judah always said. The Bears are at home, and I think we play the Bears in week 2, right after that. So the Bears are going to be battle-tested. The life outside of Justin Fields. Taking on the Tennessee Titans hard. Well, the Titans aren't going to have much of a run game going into this one. Bears are going to pound the rock. They're going to run the ball. And Beijing's got an arm. I'll tell you this. I like the Chicago Bears in this one. Bears over the Titans. I know you're going to say, well, you're kind of being biased, Dave. Of course I want the Titans to lose. Come on, man. I'm going to go with Tennessee. All right, let's go ahead and play something else. I need some good music.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
All right, next one we got New England at Cincinnati. New England at Cincinnati. Joe Burrows taking on the Patriots, and who's that new quarterback New England's got? They just picked him up in the draft. What was his name? Dane or something like that? Man, that kid's phenomenal. Is he going to be good? Who knows? Well, I tell you this, though, man. This is going to be a very good game. I saw New England's games in the preseason looking very sharp. Cincinnati Bengals, they still got a good offense, still play well at home. This is the start of the year. Something tells me New England goes in and gets the upset. I know. A lot of y'all probably thinking I'm weird saying that. Give me New England to win in Cincinnati. So Athletic Dashy, if you were watching, sorry, I don't mean to make you mad, but I'm going to go with New England to go in Cincinnati and get the dub. Patriots for the upset. All right, we're going Texans at Colts. Hey, Colts, you mad that we beat you last year, bruh? Are you still mad? Week 18, we came in and beat you at the very last minute because your boy dropped the ball. Should have got the first down there. Oh, man, that had to be detrimental right there, man. To stick the fork in your season right there, man, and knock you right out the playoffs. I know you guys are salty about that shit. Even though you're going to say we still got you on the all-time matchup, we still beat you more times. Well, it's not what you done for me a long time ago. It's what you done for me lately. So we knocked you out of the playoffs. Oh, well, not out of the playoffs, but we knocked you out from making the playoffs last year. And even though we struggle in Indianapolis, I understand that. But I'm telling you, the Texans are fully fucking loaded this year. And I think this is going to be the year we have to make a push for an AFC Championship game. I believe we have the roster to do it. It's just the question is, are we going to stay healthy? It's going to be the biggest question. We go in Indianapolis and we get the dub over Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. All right? We will go in Indianapolis, get the dub. Take care of business. Jacksonville at Miami. Another good game. The Battle of Florida. Both of these teams are what, in Florida? Okay. All right, so what is it? Jacksonville. Is this going to be the year? Huh? You going to get back in playoff contention? Or are you going to drop the ball like you always do? Are you going to be at the bottom of the AFC South this year, man? Or are you finally going to get over the hump? Huh. I'm trying to figure that one out, bro. All right, well, anyways. Miami's at home. Tua Tagovailoa. I can never pronounce his name. Do me a favor. Get that dub over Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Miami in South Florida to celebrate. And after that, y'all go to Miami Beach, man. I got the Dolphins to beat the Jags. All right, here goes Carolina at New Orleans. This is going to be another good matchup. The guy we were supposed to draft got picked up by Carolina, and it ended up benefiting us because I like my boy C.J. Stroud. All right, y'all going to New Orleans to take on what? Derek Carr and the Saints. Derek Carr has some unfinished business. I got New Orleans at home in the Superdome to get that dub over Carolina Panthers. Minnesota at New York. I'm going to go ahead and go with, this is a confusing game. Who's starting for the Vikings? Now they lost Cousins. Who's starting for the Vikings? I have no clue. Somebody tell me who's the starting quarterback. Because you're going to need a quarterback if you're going to put points on the board. And you don't have one, and you're screwed. Go ahead and give me the Giants. Daniel Jones, he's going in his 6th year, but I think for this game, he should be able to have it together. I'm going to go, you know what, give me the Giants. Giants at home, dog, for the dub. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers have gutted their team down. They don't have Williams anymore. They don't have Keenan Allen anymore. I think they even let go of their running back. So therefore, the Raiders, who did they pick up anyway? They don't got Connell anymore. They picked up Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's another game-managing quarterback. He's like Kirk Cousins. The Chargers are lacking receiver depth, and it showed in the preseason. Now, of course, preseason's a lot different than the regular season. I'm fully aware of that, but, man, I'm telling you, you're going to need an offensive score. This offensive league now. So, I think Gardner Minshew just has a little bit more weapons in his arsenal than the Chargers do. I got the Raiders to go in L.A. and beat the Chargers. Give me the Raiders. Go with Raiders. All right? The Raiders. Let's see who's next. Broncos and the Seahawks. So that's going to be what? Bo Nix versus Geno Smith. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. This game can go either way, right? How is Bo Nix going to do? I like Bo Nix personally. I think Denver's still got an explosive defense. Are they going to be able to contain Geno Smith? This is going to be a good game. Close one. It's going to go back and forth. Who did I pick for that one anyway? Because I wrote my picks down. Oh, shit. No way. I picked the Denver Broncos to go in Seattle and win. All right, I'll ride with that pick. Fuck it. I'll ride with that pick. Go ahead and give me Denver to win in Seattle. All right? Go ahead and get another song in there real quick. I'm fired up for this goddamn football season. Hold on. Give me something good. All right, fuck it. Who are we at next? Cowboys and Browns. So the Browns going to start Watson. Is Watson still having shoulder problems, dog? Oh, okay. Harbaugh's playing out a strong defense and heavily running offense to win games. Yeah. Like I said, this game go either way, Cowboys and Browns. But is Watson going to be healthy? That's going to be the biggest question. He's not the same Deshaun Watson that he was in Houston back in 2019. But he may still have some juice in the tank, but I think this is going to be the year that Browns fans are expecting a return in their investment from Deshaun Watson. We're going to find out if he is the guy, or is he going to turn into another Russell Wilson. I don't know. We'll see. But tell Deshaun not to get any more massages, though, in Cleveland, because he's already had too many down here, and it got him in big trouble. He's going to be the Bill Cosby of Cleveland. Dallas Cowboys. Dak is on his final year. And, I think it's either NFC Championship for Cowboys or bust with this guy. I think they're prepared to move on with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is young, up and coming. He's got some fast fucking legs, killer fucking arm strength. Yeah, he made those 5 interceptions in that third preseason game. But I think he's young and up and coming, and I can see the Cowboys moving on with Trey Lance. Go ahead and give me Dallas to go in Cleveland and get the dub. I still think Dak Prescott has a little bit to prove. Give me the Cowboys. All right. Let's go with the Commanders and Bucks. Let's see. Commanders. Who's starting for the Commanders? I have no clue. I don't keep up with every team in the league. I'm not like one of these football jarheads, you know. The Bucks still got Baker Mayfield. This is a tough game, but I'm gonna go with the upset dog. Give me Washington to go in Tampa Bay and get the dub. All right. I'm not gonna break that game down too much because I don't really know the rosters too well. Sunday Night Football. If Chubb doesn't hurt, I say the Browns win. You think so? Okay. Rams and the Lions. It's a Sunday night game, right? That's the 7:20 game. This is going to be a tough one. Stafford versus his old team and Jared Goff versus his old team. Oh, the Lions and Rams got two really good teams. I wouldn't be shocked if they both enter the playoffs this year. This is going to be in Ford Field, right? Or they got a new name to their stadium because it changes every 5 years for every team, I noticed. They change the damn name. Fuck it. Whenever I get confused, I just go with the home team. So I'll just go with Detroit to win at home. Fuck it. They're at home. Sunday night game. Start the year off. I'll take the Lions. Fuck it. All right, what we got out of Monday Night Football? That's the Jets-Niners game. This is going to be Aaron Rodgers returns to San Francisco to take on what is it? How many Super Bowls the Niners got? 5? Niner Empire? Y'all got 5, man? Y'all got way too many Super Bowls, man. Why don't you give me some? This is going to be a good game. It's probably going to be game of the week, obviously. You think Lions are winning the Super Bowl? Oh, okay. All right. So you got the Lions to win. Okay. Well, they did go to the NFC Championship game last year, and they probably should have beaten the Niners. They lost that lead. They probably should have went to the bowl. Took on the Chiefs. Interesting. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be healthy, man? How is he going to look from that Achilles tear? I think he'll be all right. I know that Aaron Rodgers typically struggles against the Niners. But I think something tells me, something with the Jets, I think he's going to make the wild card this year. Maybe not much so as division, because I think Buffalo's still the best team in that division. But I think the Jets will hover around a wild card spot. I think the Jets go in San Francisco and they get a big win. A big win in San Francisco. Call me crazy, but I'm going to ride with Aaron Rodgers. Now we'll go ahead and go through all the picks, but I'll just tell you who I picked. I got Chiefs to beat the Ravens Thursday. I got Green Bay to go in South America and beat the Eagles. I got Atlanta at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buffalo to trample the Cardinals. I got the Bears to beat the Titans. I got New England upset in Cincinnati and get the dub. I got my Texans, of course, to crush the Indianapolis Colts. I got the Battle of South Florida. Well, Battle of North versus South Florida, but I got South Florida to win. Miami over Jacksonville. That's right, motherfucker. I got New Orleans and Derek Carr to defeat the Carolina Panthers. This game's probably a shit-fest game, but I'm going to get the Giants because they're at home. Fuck it. Giants at home, I guess. Over the Vikings. I like Gardner Minshew, game-managing quarterback. I got him to go in the Chargers and get the dub. Chargers lacking receiver debt, and it showed. I got Denver to get the Bo Nix win in Seattle. Upset. Cowboys to go in Cleveland and get the dub. Washington and Tampa Bay to get the dub. And I got Detroit at home over the Rams. And I got the Jets to defeat the Niners. Those are my picks for the NFL Pick'em Week 1. Oh, I see somebody's already making their predictions. Those are my picks. I'll tell you this. I saw the Longhorns game. We played Colorado State. I knew we were going to win that game, but I didn't expect us to just wipe the floor with their ass. What was it, like 52-0? What an impressive start the year. I mean, you got two good quarterbacks in Quinn Ewers, and you got Archie Manning. So we got a two-headed monster at the quarterback position right now. And that's going to be very good going into the fiscal year, especially having to play for the college playoff. And you got the top 12 getting in. We got the defending champs, the Michigan Wolverines, come. We're going to their house this week, so I'm going to be live streaming that game, play by play. And I'll tell you this right now. Listen. I know the Jim Harbaugh era is over. He left, and then of course, McCarthy went to the NFL, and he's currently playing for the Vikings, I think, and he got injured, so he got a season-ending injury. So they got. It's going to be a new roster for Michigan. But technically, they're still the defending champs, and they're at home. This is going to be a very good game. I don't expect it to be anywhere near a blowout, but I do expect it to be a very close game. Is this a game I think the Longhorns can go and win? Absolutely. This Longhorns team is probably the most stacked Longhorns team we've had since probably 2017. I'll even go as far back as say 2011, 2009. 2006, aka the Rose Bowl that we won, probably one of the best championship games ever played on the field. Longhorns and USC, Vince Young versus Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, and Pete Carroll at the head coach for the USC Trojans. That probably by far is the best fucking game of all time. It has to be one of the greatest games of all time. But this is going to be a very good game. Longhorns and in Michigan, I'm going to be looking very forward to it. I think that game's on a Saturday. Let me check the schedule. So I don't know if it's a later game or if it's a. Let me see. Let me look real quick. Texas Longhorns. Because I know we play them, I think, but it's a later game. Oh no, we got it's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. and Michigan's ranked 10th, so they fell down one spot. We actually moved up to 3 from 4 to 3, but this is, of course, the coaches' poll. It's not official, not the official college playoff rankings, but it's the AP poll or whatever. So they got us ranked at 3. Michigan ranked at 10. So after that, we got UTSA and LA Monroe. That we should win both of those games. And Mississippi State, that's where it's really going to get interesting when we start playing these SEC teams. Then, of course, is the big game, the Red River rivalry showdown against Oklahoma, the 150,000th game we play these bastards. And so we play Oklahoma, the team in Norman, take them on. And technically, they're the home team, even though we play in Texas every year, which is fucking retarded. I hate playing that stupid-ass Cotton Bowl, man. It sucks. I've been to Fair Park, don't get me wrong. I like the Cotton Bowl. I'm tired of playing there. I know it's a neutral site. I know Auburn, Alabama does this shit. I know there's other schools that have a neutral. I'm tired of this neutral shit. Let's just start. If Oklahoma's, I want to play them in Norman and beat their ass. I would love to go up to Norman and embarrass them. But we don't have the opportunity to do that. And I would love them to come down to Darrell K. Will Stadium so we can kick their ass when they come down here. But unfortunately, you don't always get what you want. But we got to go play them at Fair Park this year, October 12th, the 2:30 game. Love to go up there and kick their ass one more time. Let's go. We got Georgia. That's going to be on October 19th, so that's the following week. We got Oklahoma, Georgia, some very good games. We play Vanderbilt, Florida. Don't sleep on those teams. Arkansas, the last time we played them, they kicked our ass. And then, of course, we play Kentucky. And, of course, for the first time since 2007, we play Texas A&M. So Texas A&M, we're coming to kick your fucking ass. Remember that Justin Tucker field goal kick? It stays in the back of your mind. And we will love to return this rivalry so we can kick your ass again at the end of the year. So this is the first game against Texas A&M in 17 years since they left the Big 12. Now, you asked me personally, what do I think about Texas move to the SEC? I'm going to be honest with you. I think we should have stayed in the Big 12. I think it would have been better to compete against the SEC rather than to join forces with them and just kind of dilute the product of the other Big 12. I like the addition the Big 12 made when they acquired BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, Arizona State. They acquired a bunch of good teams in the Big 12, and I think what Texas should have done was they should have, in Oklahoma, should have stayed in the Big 12, and we should have brought Notre Dame in and just intensified the Big 12 and compete against the SEC. And that would have been me personally, because I like to compete. So that would have said, well, let's just go ahead and do that rather than just make this super conference of all these teams, and then you just kind of dilute the rest of the conferences out. I just think that would be a... Plus, I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of miss playing Baylor. I miss playing TCU, Oklahoma State. You know, I'm gonna miss those guys. I'm gonna miss playing West Virginia. I'm gonna miss playing all the other teams that are in that conference. You know, that I didn't mention. Kansas State. You know, I love playing against them, and we've been playing against them for decades. It's just now it's just kind of like now we got all these new teams that are here, and this is going to be another tough challenge to have to see how the Texas can adapt in the SEC. And Oklahoma, you're right there with us. And you're also going to be our neighbor. I think if I'm correct, it's Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, LSU in our division. If I'm correct, that's how it works. So I mean, I know they're going to do the top 12 college playoff, and the way it works is it's top 5 conferences, Power 5 conferences get in, and then it's 7 aftermath or whatever. I mean, I guess if that's how they want to do it. Let me go ahead and look and see how they actually do the conferences. Let me look at it real quick because it's new this year, and a lot of teams have moved around. So give me a sec. College. Let's see. You got the rankings. They should have the conferences. Hold on. Let me see. I don't see it, but Georgia's ranked 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3, Bama 4, Notre Dame 5, Ole Miss 6, Oregon 7, Penn State 8, Missouri 9, Michigan 10, Utah is 11, and Miami, Florida is 12. I mean, honestly, I think they should have did a top 16 college playoff. And fuck it, make everybody play an extra game. Fuck it. Give the fans what they want. But the top 12 is okay. I mean, I like that, but I personally, I think they should have probably added more. You know, I think a top 16 would be a sufficient way, you know. So you got the conferences, what, the ACC, AAC, Army, East Carolina, Memphis, Navy. See, yeah, that sucks, man. They got a bunch of shitty schools there. I like Rice. Don't get me wrong. I like Rice University. Is not that far from my house. Very nice school, by the way. It's hard actually to get into Rice. A lot of people don't realize that. It's actually easier to get into Texas, and it's easier to get in Baylor than it is to get in Rice. And even though Rice is not a Division I school, you have to have a certain GPA, certain SAT scores. It's hard getting into Rice. Nice stadium. They got a nice football team. I love the Rice Owls. Their colors and everything. Nice school. Don't get me wrong, but it's very hard to get into Rice. Have that high scores to get in. It's actually almost up there with A&M, believe it or not. A&M, you have to have high scores to get into. Same thing with Rice University. ACC, you got what? Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech. They started the season off 2-0. And Boston College, they got the upset over Florida State. SMU, I like SMU. That's up north in Dallas. California, you got Duke, Louisville, Miami. Okay, so UNC, NC State. Okay, Pittsburgh, Wake Forest, Virginia, Clemson, Stanford, Virginia Tech, Florida. Florida State's at the bottom. And then let's go, of course, to the Big 12. So let's go to the Big 12. I know! I'm loving football this year. Notre Dame should have been moved back after a poor showing overall against A&M. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, honestly, that there's 3 teams now that are independent schools, and they just need to join a conference. It's UMass. I think it's UMass is one of them. It's UConn, and it's Notre Dame. And it's like, dude, just join a fucking conference already. Just, because I know Notre Dame, they got big contracts. I think with NBC, and so they get their games like televised, like they have their own network, sort of like the Longhorn Network, but kind of like Notre Dame does that. And it's like, I feel like even though they'll make Notre Dame play against conference certain, like it'll be this conference one year, this conference next year. So they're like, well, technically we don't have to join, but I'm like, I still think you should. Like, I still think it's not fair that they're not in a conference like the rest of us. So I think Notre Dame, if they were smart, they would go to the Big 12. I think that would be, you don't have to go to SEC and play some powerhouse teams there or whatever. You maybe can go to the Big 10, but I think the Big 12 would I see. That's what I think Texas and OU should have recruited Notre Dame and kept them in the Big 12. That would have been smart to do, and then the SEC would have actually had some competition. Let's see. Let's look at the Big 12. They got Arizona, Arizona State, BYU, so they're new. Cincinnati. They got the Cincinnati Bearcats. So then you got Baylor, who's already been there. You recruit Deion Sanders and Colorado. Now you got Ohio State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State. They were all former Big 12, still Big 12 teams. TCU, same thing. Texas Tech, another one. Then they recruited UCF, Utah, and they brought in the Houston Cougars. Now, personally, I wouldn't mind playing this schedule. I wouldn't mind playing UCF in Houston. I wouldn't mind playing, Colorado and Deion Sanders and taking on Cincinnati and BYU, and then we could have brought in Notre Dame. And to me, personally, I think that would have been it would have probably been in the better interest of Texas to do that, to stay in the Big 12. But, you don't always get shit your way. Notre Dame should have been moved back. Oh, yeah, Texas winning the trophy this year. I sure hope so. Poles screw the pooch by not trading picks to rebuild no line, improve the defense. So, hey, check it out. So, who are you a fan of, man? Who's your team? I know, aren't you a Bears fan, right? I think so. Let's go ahead and go to who do I think is going to win the Big 12? Well, did they split the teams up in a conference yet, or are they still just all playing one giant big pool? Because that was one of the issues I had in the Big 12 is we didn't have divisions. It was just one big conference and just a fucking rematch for the Big 12 championship. I fucking hated that shit. I didn't like it. And it's just the Big 12 took forever to try to do something. It's like, okay, you wait till Texas and Oklahoma leaves, then now you want to do something and present this package. It's like you should have been did this. So every other conference has a division and like two division winners, and then they meet in the conference championship, and we don't do that here. It's just you just play a slate of games. The top two teams will play a rematch for the conference championship, and that's basically just all it was for the Big 12. I hated it, but other than that, I'm still going to miss the Big 12. Still got a lot of love for the Big 12. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to miss those games against Oklahoma State, Kansas. And there were some years that came in and upsetted us too. And Baylor, I'm going to miss those schools. Texas Tech had a lot of good rivalries against them, and West Virginia. So we're going to miss you guys. Hopefully they'll play us in some random games next year, years to come. That way we can still continue the love, the love we have for each other. They pumped Notre Dame up for viewership early in the season. Then coaches AP polls slit their throats at the end of the season. Notre Dame football should have been forced to join the ACC when the rest of their teams. And I think Notre Dame should join. You got Notre Dame, you got UConn, you got UMass. I'm not necessarily a fan. I know the pressure's not on UConn or UMass to join, but they should also join a conference too. This is ridiculous. Why it's been going on for this fucking long. But I think Notre Dame likes their contracts they got, with NBC. So they kind of got like a monopoly on not having the force to join a conference. But the NCAA eventually is going to have to pull the trigger and say, you guys need to join a conference. Pick one. We don't care. Just pick one. How many conferences are there now? Marvin said. Let's see. The ACC, AAC, the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10, Conference USA, that's got Liberty, LA Tech, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, Sam Houston, FIU, which is Florida International, I think. You got Jackson State, Kennesaw State, UTEP, and Western Kentucky. I think that's it. Okay. So Conference USA is probably the next conference to go. They only got 10, they got 10 teams. Eventually, I think they're probably going to have to recruit UMass and UConn. Could see that happening. If not, they're probably going to have to. I wouldn't be surprised if these schools start joining these bigger conferences. You'll just have 5 super conferences by the time it's all said and done. Which it kind of logically makes sense if you think about it, because there's no way these schools can make the top 12 if they don't make a move, especially if you're in a weaker conference. So that's going to be a problem for them. So Conference USA, that's 5, right? We got the FBS Independence, which they technically count that as a conference, even though I think it's a joke. Notre Dame, UConn, and UMass are independent schools, and none of them want to join a conference, which is ridiculous. And I think it makes it unfair, especially Notre Dame, to not join a conference. So you got the MAC, which is 6. That's technically the 6. I'm not counting the FBS Independence, but I'll count MAC. You got Bowling Green, Buffalo, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois, Toledo, Ball State, Akron, Kent State, Miami, Ohio, and Western. I don't know what that other school is. It says WMU. I don't know who they are. That's 6. I think it's Western Montana or Western Michigan. No, it's not Western Michigan. Western Montana. I don't know. This one's called the MW, Mountain West. Air Force, Boise State, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, Utah State, Hawaii, Nevada, Colorado State, Fresno, Wyoming, New Mexico. Okay. Not too bad. And then you got 7, which is the Pac-12. There's only 2 teams in the Pac-12. What? I thought the Pac-12 was done. So Oregon State and Washington State haven't joined a conference yet? Oh my God, you gotta be joking me. What the fuck is this? But not for long, yeah. Oh, and yes, a Bears fan too. That's what's up. Yeah, I got Bears to stomp the Titans. Oh, they whooped their ass. Oregon State, Washington State. Yeah, they need to go to a conference. So you got the Pac-12, you got independent school. You got 5 stubborn-ass schools right now. How many more conferences are there where the schools are refusing to join a conference? I hope that's it. Let's see. We got the SEC, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Vanderbilt, Florida, LSU, Texas A&M. So we got those schools. Let's go to the next one. You got the SBC South. What's the SBC East? Anyways, they got. Is that it after that? The SBC East. You got App State, Appalachian State. I love Appalachian State, man. It's something about them that I like. They always pull these upsets off. I see them all the time on SportsCenter. And of course, if anybody remembers, if you're a college fucking head like I am, or used to be a big college head, right? One of my favorite games of all time, Appalachian State, Michigan, 2006. Does anybody remember that? Mario Manningham at wide receiver. Who was the quarterback? Was it Chad Pennington? Or not Chad Pennington, it was it Chad Henne? Who was the quarterback of Michigan at the time? They were a big favorite. It was week 1 of the 2006 season. Appalachian State goes into Michigan and pulls off probably one of the greatest upsets of all time. This is probably the greatest upset of all time in college football history is Appalachian State goes in Michigan and gets the fucking win. And I think this is probably one of the greatest. If you guys haven't watched that game, just go back and watch it. Any youngsters out there that didn't watch this game, any old heads, go and watch the Appalachian State-Michigan game. It's available on YouTube. It's probably one of the greatest fucking games of all time. Biggest upset in college football history. College football history. So I'm going to go with Appalachian State to win that division, man. But Appalachian State's one of those schools I wouldn't mind if they went to the Big 12. I think they would actually make the conference a lot better. Old Dominion, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Marshall. I think Randy Moss, legend, wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers to play the game. He went to Marshall. I'm correct. James Madison, Coastal Carolina. Then you got SBC West. You got the Arkansas State, Louisiana, LA Monroe, Texas State, South Alabama, Southern Miss, and Troy. So, yeah, so you got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we got 10 conferences, and two of them are about to go. I predict Conference USA Well, either Conference USA will have to recruit the other two schools in Oregon State and Washington State, possibly. But I wouldn't want to see that. They probably wouldn't want to join that conference. They're going to want to join a big conference. That's probably what's going to end up happening. And so you got 10 conferences, and at least two of them should not be there. So really, it should be 8 conferences. Yeah, it should be at least about 8 to 7 conferences. So I mean, I could see a lot of these bottom teams are going to start defecting. They're going to start going to other conferences that are maybe second tier. Like, well, I wouldn't call it second tier, but mainly it's probably not going to be the SEC, but it'll probably be something along the lines of maybe Big 12, Big 10, maybe ACC. They'll start forming. They'll start going to these conferences to sort of add to it. I could see that possibly happening in the future. But let's go ahead and go to the college football games. I just want to see what's on the college games this year. Let's see. For week 2, ESPN college. Give me a second. College football. I want to see what's week 2 matchups. Fuck it, since we're already on here. And I don't upload that much. Roll Independence into their own conferences with OS and Washington State and put UCF to give them stiff competition. They can always add to it later. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I've been all right, Donovan. Don't forget, you owe me Major League Baseball picks. If you want to go all home, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Some people just do that just to, because we only got 2 days that picks left. Let's see the schedule for college football. I want to see if there's going to be any good games this week other than us. Let's see. Schedule. Give me a schedule. Want a schedule right now. Man, bro, if you guys work in corrections, because I'm a corrections officer now, you're working at least 60 hours a week, minimum. It's like 60 hours, 70 hours. 60 hours is normal for a corrections officer. But those guys are working 70, 80 a week. I've worked 50 hours in 3 days. 53 hours in 3 days. 50. And I still got 3 days left in the week. So I'm probably, if they call me in today, could be another 8. That's 61. And then 2 12s, Thursday, Friday. You're looking at about 85 hours. In 1 week. And then I still got to do 3 pick'em leagues on top of that, including this NFL picks. And then I still got the MLB, and I got my college football pick'em league I'm doing on. So yeah, I got to manage all that and still work 70 plus hours a week. This is going to be definitely a challenge for me this year because I'm not going to have a lot of free time to grade picks. Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: the job pays, depending on the city or county. You start off about 22 an hour, but this is the only job you actually get vacation, like a decent amount of vacation. I haven't even been with the company since May, and I've already got vacation in November. So I'm already going to be off for 6 days, and I'm getting paid. You get your comp pay, you get your Roth, you get your vacation, sick pay. So you get 3 different forms of that. 3 different forms of vacation: your sick, your vacation, and your comp pay, which is 80 hours they store into your piggy bank for vacation time. You could take a day off, they'll pull hours out of that. Or if you want to take 2 days off, they'll put it in that. And so what guards will do is they'll have 2 days off and they'll take another 2 days off and align them together to get a nice 4-day week. And they'll take 16 hours out of their comp pay and then just replace it with the overtime the following week or the week of. So they do it like that. You don't have to take all of it. You can just take like 2 days here, I'm taking 4 days off plus my 2 days vacation, and I'm getting 6. The pay's good. You get overtime, time and a half. You get your pension, your Roth IRA, 457, which is basically you put $50, or if you want to put $100 in every check every 2 weeks, and then at the end of the year they add 8% to the IRA, then that adds 8% to whatever you saved, and every year it adds. So even if you quit the job, you still have your Roth IRA. The only thing is you can't pull out of it unless you're 55 years old. Or they penalize you for it. So you have to wait till you're 55 to pull from your Roth IRA, your 457. But if you quit it every year, even if you quit your job or if you stay or you add more to the account every year, it adds 8% of whatever's in that account, and that adds to your account. It's sort of like a trust fund, so to speak. And then you got your pension, and then you got, of course, your Social Security. Of course, if I make it to see 80 years old, won't matter anyway, and because the country's falling apart and our dollar's fucking crumbling, don't mean to bring politics into this, but if the dollar crumbles, which I predict it will by 2030, we'll move to digital currency. Our population is going to shrink. There's going to be more people over the age of 60 than under. It's probably not going to fucking matter for me anyway. Social Security will be gone by 2035, 2040 on the way this country is going, because you got guys in office like Joe Biden and Donald Trump and Barack Obama, who are ultimately the Antichrist and love government spending and have basically devalued the dollar in these last 3 administrations and every president combined with their frivolous spending, and it has caused this country to be in the position it's in now. But that's just for side politics. But like I said, if I make it, if the dollar doesn't collapse by 2030, these benefits are great, but doesn't look like it's going in that direction. But with that being said, I'm going to try to steer away from politics. We'll go back to college for you. No, I'm not voting for this election. No, I'm not voting because I'm not voting for, I'm not voting either guy. Kamala Harris is a girl, but I'm not voting for either one of these candidates. They don't benefit the country. They don't benefit my rights. They're all for corporations. They're going to continue to give them tax breaks while they continue to practice in bad faith. It doesn't benefit me. They're not going to decrease the taxes here. They're not going to get rid of the property tax. They're not going to get rid of most of these taxes that continue to put this burden on us. They're not going to go after insurance companies. They're not going to do that. Trump is in favor of insurance companies and their fraudulent bullshit. He's in favor of corporations, and they're and they're practicing in not practicing in good faith. So therefore, I have no interest in voting for either one of them. So again, if you want to vote, it's all power to you. But I'm personally not voting. I'm just going to sit this one out. I'm going to wait for the 2028 elections or the midterms in 2026. So I'll just wait for that. So it doesn't benefit me to vote. No offense for anybody out there who's voting. If you want to vote, go ahead, vote. All power to you. But I'm personally sitting this out. But let's go ahead and get back to college football and get off of politics, because I know I don't want to piss anybody off in here. All right. Let's go. Everybody grifts. It just depends on how you look at it, Marvin says. People grift from party to party. Oh, absolutely. Go watch Judah Tribe's channel. That's another one. Judah Tribe is a good guy. He was a far leftist when I first met him. Years ago. He was a far fucking leftist. Far, far left. I'm talking about all the way on the deep end of the stand. Have you seen him there lately? He's on the far fucking right now. Yeah. I never thought I'd see that. I said, whoa. Judah is all of a sudden pro-Trump all of a sudden out of nowhere. Whoa. And that's the times we're living in now. The people grift. And that's okay. You know, sometimes you tend to question your beliefs and then you swift to the next one. You're either an atheist, you become Christian, or vice versa, like I was. I was atheist for a long part of my life. And now I'm agnostic. I believe in a higher being. I just don't specifically have a religion I pick. Although I think Christianity probably makes the most logical sense because it believes in the true separation of church and state, versus most other religions believe that church should dictate law. And so, you know, you got that, right? Or what you call a theocracy, which I think that this country is headed towards a theocracy. I really believe that it is. I think religion's going to ultimately take over the state laws here. And I could see it going in that direction. But that's just a conspiracy theorist talking to me, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the matchups for this week. for college football. Are there any that you guys that are going to enjoy? Well, we're going to find out. Okay, so there's 2 games on Friday that's going to be pretty good. You got BYU at SMU. That's going to be on ESPN. Duke at Northwestern. Another good matchup. And you got Saturday's matchups. Sorry about that. Let's go to 11 a.m. games. Texas at Michigan. It's going to be a good one. That's going to be a Fox. It's going to be on Channel 26 here. A Fox game. Bowling Green at Penn State. Unless Bowling Green is going to pull off an Appalachian State. Don't see that happening. Penn State's ranked 8th. You got Arkansas traveling to Oklahoma State. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be an ABC game, and it's going to be on ESPN. You got Kansas State, who's ranked 17th, at Tulane. That's going to be a good one. Georgia Tech at Syracuse. Rhode Island at Minnesota. Minnesota's going to win that one for sure. Akron at Rutgers. I think Rutgers, isn't that in Philadelphia? I think if I'm correct. I actually have a buddy of mine who does a pick'em league for NFL. He's a big Rutgers fan. And every time I talk to him, like during college football, he's like, "Not now, I'm watching the Rutgers." I'm like, "Oh shit, Rutgers, what's that?" I had to go look him up. I think they're in Philadelphia because he's an Eagles fan. So I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Now, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati have a rivalry in NFL. They got a rivalry in college basketball. Now you can add college football to the mix. So could you see Pittsburgh going in and upsetting Cincinnati Bearcats? Maybe, perhaps. Then you got one called Merrimack at UConn. I've never heard of that one. That must be a new school. Troy at Memphis. Army at Florida Atlantic. McNeese at Texas A&M. Tennessee Tech at Georgia. Georgia's going to wipe the floor with them. Missouri State at Ball State. St. Francis, PA at Kent State. Utah Tech at UNLV. UNLV, I always try to wonder what that means. University, UNLV. What school? God, I tell you, my brain's frying right now. Where's UNLV at, man? It's got to be somewhere on here. On the map. UNLV. I think that's University of what? Northern something. All right, you got Northern Illinois at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to win. Baylor, Utah. I'll go with wait, let me see the other matchups. Baylor at Utah. I'm going to go with Utah should win that one. Iowa State at Iowa. This is always a good game. And, I'm always rooting for Iowa State, even though Iowa normally dominates Iowa State. Because I know they got the same rivalry like we do with Oklahoma, but Iowa owns the all-time matchup on Iowa State. But I always go for the underdogs and the Cyclones, and I want Iowa State to go in Iowa and win. Jackson State, Louisville. Louisville will win that one. California at Auburn. Most likely that'll be burned, Auburn. Southern Carolina at Kentucky. That's another good one. You got Michigan State at Maryland. I'm going to go with the Maryland Terrapins. Believe it or not, Maryland Terrapins, Steve Francis went to that school. He's played for the Rockets back in the day. And he's on the front cover of, I believe, the one on PS1 or PS2. It's college basketball 2000 or 99 or something. I think Steve Francis is on the front cover of that game in a Maryland's Terrapin jersey. And Maryland actually beat my school, the Longhorns, 2 years in a row. They came in our house and beat us, and then we went to their house and they beat us again. I think that was back in 2017 to 2018 season. They beat us twice. Yes, they beat us twice. I like the Maryland Terrapins. Eastern Michigan at Washington. Most likely Washington will win, but I'll be rooting for Eastern Michigan. South Dakota at Wisconsin. Massachusetts at Toledo. This is going to be a shitty game. Duquesne. Duquene. Duscus? What the fuck is that school at? Duquesne. I don't know. Where that fucking school's at, bro? That must be an Ivy League school. I'm guessing. They go at Boston College. Boston College probably got the dub on that. Charlotte at North Carolina. It's going to be North Carolina. Idaho at Wyoming. That's going to be a good matchup. Temple at Navy. It's another good one. UTSA and Texas State. Middle Tennessee and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is ranked 6th. Ole Miss will win that one. Marshall at Virginia Tech. You got Florida A&M at Miami. Miami's going to win that one. UAlbany at West Virginia. West Virginia will win that one. Central Michigan at Florida International. I'll go with Central Michigan on that one. Garner Webb. There's that at. I don't know where they're at. There's my trash can there. Let's see what other schools we got. South Florida at Auburn. Oh, my God. They get the shitty schools, and they play them against the best teams to squash them just to keep their ranks up. Then they'll slot them a little money to their program. Nothing more than legalized money laundering. UCF and Sam Houston. UCF will win that one. South Bama and Ohio. I'll go with South Bama. Eastern Carolina at Old Dominion. That's going to be a good one. Buffalo at Missouri. You got Kansas at Illinois. Sanford at Florida. Sanford. Samford. I don't know where that school's at. You go to Florida. Florida will win. William and Mary in Coastal Carolina. That's going to be a good one. William and Mary's at the Ivy League school. Eastern Kentucky and Western Kentucky. Chattanooga at Georgia State. California Poly at Stanford. Virginia West. God, there's so many fucking games in college football, man. It's crazy. But I'm almost down the list. I'm just going to name them real quick. Virginia Wake Forest, Louisville, Kennesaw State, San Jose State at Air Force. Believe it or not, Air Force, their boot camp's in San Antonio. Unless they changed it, but it used to be in San Antonio where they did boot camp for the Air Force. Unless they changed it. Northern Colorado is taking on Colorado State, Georgia Southern, and Nevada. Tulsa and Arkansas State. UAB and UL Monroe. Southeast Louisiana and Southern Miss. Texas Southern Rice. Western Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State will win. Tennessee at NC State. That's going to be a good one. 2 ranked schools. 14 at 24. LSU will beat Nichols. Acorn State, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt will win. Colorado at Nebraska. Okay, that's going to be a good one. Everyone's rooting for Colorado because they want to see Deion Sanders win. Stephen F. Austin at North Texas. North Texas, believe it or not, man, they got some nice jerseys. And when I was in Dallas, I was at the mall. What was the mall we were at? Me and Travis were at. Was it Galleria? They have nothing but SMU and North Texas jerseys all over to buy. Enjoy. Have a great day, Steven. You too, man. You have a good day, man. Like I said, I'm about to end this video anyway, but I did my picks, and, I'm just talking a little college football. I'm just looking at the good Texas Tech at Washington State. Oregon and Boise State. That's going to be another good one. App State at Clemson. Utah State at USC. Okay, well, that's all the matchups for this week, man. It's going to be a good week in college football and for NFL, so I hope you guys enjoy the season. I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here because I'm already tired anyway. And I'll get the picks from you later, so you guys take care, man. I'm going to get these picks, man. If you want to join, it's not too late. It's free to join. Let me know, and we'll get back at you.